Good morning, everyone. I took my chance out of turn because I wanted to speak when Professor Raghunathan and Bet sir are still here. So many of the people who got PhD are the current members of GSDL may not know me. I'm Raghunathan. When I joined, Professor Raghunathan was the chairman. But sir was in my interview panel. So when I cleared the interview, people asked, "How did you clear the interview?" It was a surprise to me. Actually, But sir was the inspiration why I joined IASC. He knew so much. Okay, I'm sorry. This is tribute to Ghosh sir. But I never got a chance to say that. But sir, I joined IASC because of But sir. I was very surprised that somebody could know so much in control systems. I did ME in control system in Anna University. There were, in my professor list, there were people who had written books, but sir is But sir. Nobody can say anything other than that. So I was already working. I was in VIT where I am still working, but I came to Bangalore by chance at that time. In fact, that was my wedding anniversary day. We had come for anniversary, not for interview. So in that, after meeting But sir, I thought rather than do part-time PhD in VIT, I'll do full-time PhD in IASC. So that's how I came to be in IASC. I know a lot of you put in lot of effort and you are here because of that. But no, I'm not trying to undervalue your effort, but it happened to me only by accident, which nobody knew. Today I'm very happy to acknowledge. Later on, we had an occasion to meet ISRO chairman, I think, in which, you know But sir, he is the best engineer in all this in control system technologies. So my respect for But sir was always so great that it only confirmed what I knew about But sir. Okay, then Raghunathan sir, when he was chairman, Professor Sharma suggested to Raghunathan sir that I need a guide. At that time my guide had died, Pradeep sir had died. So all very nice people, fine people. Professor Prasad, I was the last student 2 days before his retirement in the Compre. So I knew from Pradeep sir that I had done well in Compre to clear easily. But I used to ask Dhananjay, Prasad sir's son, how did I do? You ask him directly. I never got that feedback. Then after a few days, it was a forgotten affair, so I could not know that. So this is my acknowledgement to the very fine system in IASC. So many nice people who were around, Professor Sharma, Raghunathan, Prasad, Mahapatra. They were all there, very much available and very helping to students when I was there as a student. So now moving on to what I wanted to say about Ghosh sir. In this context, if I got even this chance to acknowledge my debt to IASC, that's because of Ashwini Ashwini is not here. Ashwini and the organizing team of students, if they had not organized this, I would not have got a chance to meet all these people and acknowledge my debt. Okay, so coming to that, I only hope when Ashwini retires, I'll get a chance. Again, second time. I and Ghosh sir will be there. This time I'm there as student of Ghosh. Next time I'll be there as colleague of Ashwini. And Ghosh sir of course will be here, but I'm not so sure where I'll be, what I'll be doing. Especially because, okay, yesterday, Ashwini, right, come. So, what happened yesterday was, so why I'm not so sure that I'll be available is, we took photos yesterday, if you remember, those who came for the dinner, remember, I took photo, I sent that to my wife, she replied. I captioned it as Guru Shishya. In that she had replied, Shishya looks older than the Guru. Or the other Guru looks younger than Shishya. That is true in fact. As I was repeatedly telling him, okay, so I'm in that context I must wish Ghosh sir a long and very healthy, productive life as he wishes. I wish all his wishes must come true. If, okay, I'm allowed any more time, Ashwini? Or how much? You put a time limit on that. Oh, okay. Huh? Okay. Yeah. Right. There is so much that I owe to Professor Ghosh that unless you put a time limit, I can't stop, I think. But that photo, one minute, can you? There is a photo of my daughter and Ghosh sir, right? No, you saw it. Okay, I'll continue my speech till that photo comes. See, Ghosh sir was a very strict person. You cannot miss deadlines. Wait. See, after I became professor, I realized that all that was in student interest. If you don't put a strict deadline, especially young people might benefit from that, your student is going to take it lightly. No matter what is the student's age, right? If the deadline is flexible, he is not going to do it, right? So all of you are being Ghosh as students. I need not tell that again, but yeah. But last 2 minutes, okay, as long as they give me time. So that is one side of it. Okay, a lot of us know that. But he could also be a very different person, especially when meeting children, like he said. And I owe a very special debt to Ghosh sir. My daughter wanted to see him from quite some time, this being some official setup. How to bring family into this matter. So I was worrying about that. I was not in favor of that. Then I told Ghosh sir, my daughter wants to see you, sir. Oh, why not? We can meet her. What is the problem? He said. And that's how the meeting came about. The two best moments in my ISU life is, one is when I got PhD. The other is when my daughter met Ghosh sir. So that photo of Ghosh sir and my daughter is here. So that way my daughter still remembers, my wife remembers. Ghosh sir built a very solid relationship with what he built a bridge between families. No, he was not just my teacher. Like Veeravalli, Bharadwaj Veeravalli said, Ghosh sir to Veeravalli was friend, cool guru and common man. Oh, I'll put that in a slightly different language. He is my friend, philosopher and guide. I still remember all the advice he gave me. I wish him a long, happy, healthy, married, retired life. Sorry. Retired life.
Thank you, sir.
So, thank you. I hope he'll continue to remember me and my family through this photo.
Thank you.
So next up, we have some reminiscence from our participants online. So we have first from Professor Veeravalli Bharadwaj. Virendra Mittal, if he is here.
Respected Professor Ghose and senior professors and my friends. So I have completed my master's ME in 1999. So when I joined, sir has given me 2 prestigious stone. So why I am calling this prestigious stone also, I can describe. The first prestigious stone I will cover is as a project work, so whatever is the thesis. And his quality, as already other professors they have mentioned, he is a very calm, cool. But third one I want to add it, he is having a very like assessing the person who is coming and approaching, what is his weakness and strength also and what he want. So when I approached to him to take a project, then first question he asked, you want to continue the study or you want to get a job? So as my financial issues, I told sir, I want a job first. So after my MTech, then he told, okay, I'll give you the project work, which is related to the multimedia, where the video processing, image processing and video on demand something. Then I told, it is good because it's the market, so I'll continue in this. So during that, the project work when I started, first he understood that he is weak in English. So in the English, first he told that you have to write whatever is the lesson of that thesis. Then I brought, he has cut all the thesis and he told it's no use that what you have written. Then I understood it's a very, although I thought maybe the sir will first short he will agree, so much hard work I have done. Then the thesis, after that I asked my so many friends here, you suggest what the English we have to write in this properly. So then we wrote whatever is the required. Then second day also, then he understood, even though I have suggested you have to change, he cannot do. So he himself has corrected all the English, whatever you required the properly. So that is the first part, which is impact to how to write the thesis to the. So write the thesis and properly the English. Then the second part, after that he told, okay, you come on the content part of the thesis, what the thesis is written, because English part is okay, now you at least understood what to write. Then second part, I told sir, this video and audio, I am not knowing much, because it's an analog signal, how to do the video on demand, it's a tough task. Then he told you, don't worry, it's basically a number game only, whatever is the video, it is there. And in a simple terms, he explained how the video, it is basically a number from 0 to 255. So if you know how the information can be extracted from the numbers, then I understood what is the video and that. And when I joined the BL, so the first project what I got, it's related to this video processing only. So video processing, since he has explained how the video, it is the number game. And with the number game, now after that the first project is, you know, the Operation Sindoor, where now the low cost, the gun has been used to neutralize our drone and that such. So in that we have used a video tracking developed with my team because he, so first initial whatever is learned. And the video tracker, first initially we are using like the imported things which was not meeting the requirement. Then our video tracker is the one of the best and army appreciated. Now in the all AD guns we are using. So I'll give the full credit to the sir that they are first and now our bell, whatever is the like video processing and that, we are using our imported like to this is the project, the coursework. So coursework what is offered, actually why I have approached out. So in the first semester, for me it's difficult to save my scholarship. So scholarship because I was from the electronics, and the first semester more on the coursework in the core aerospace subjects. And then some of my friends suggested, if you want to save scholarship, you can take one coursework from the Professor course. Then he has told in the way, because then you will get a good score. But it not happened. I got the C grade. But I will tell you why this thing has coursework what he offered is the guidance of missile. And the guidance of missile, the coursework he taught in a so nice way. We underestimate that the coursework how and I score the grade and that. So I thought it's a very simple. But he taught in a nice way that the coursework was not simple. But since his teaching was so impressive that I thought it's a simple. So underestimated. So that is the second part. But the second part of the coursework is the learning. So what I have learned is that the guidance of missile, particularly how the mechanics it will work. And how we'll write the equation of the motions, the first of all. So then based on this, since two things I have claimed in my interview as when I have been selected in the India. So the two problems has given me. The first part is like in the video side, he told that we have done the project work in this. So we have proven. Then the second, the importance it has come when Bell has entered in the fire control system. So in the fire control system, they asked to develop the ballistics for the projectiles, whatever we are having, because earlier we are dependent on the imported system, the imported solutions of the Israelis and that. They don't know you have done from your IC students, why again we go, you have done a coursework. So I took the challenge, but I was having the fear. Then I immediately called Susan. So I am only the first, the one student as aerospace BL. Nobody is there who can help me. Please help me. Then he immediately asked me, you please come here and that. And without any the formal project work and that, he has given hours together to explain me. Then he first asked how to write the equation of motion. You have to write, and then you can understand how to solve it. So that has helped me. So I have started that, whatever sir has guided, and written the equation. And then one thing in the coursework I have learned, the guidance of missile, how to solve the differential equation. So there is, although the small thing, but how it has played the role, the big role in that life. So the differential equation solving I was knowing because of how he taught. And every day he used to give an assignment, you go and solve this equation. So that differential equation, because finally in the projectile, I have used, because based on the knowledge. And now today our in the bell like that. The two, whatever is the topology we have developed now, completely we are self-reliant. We are not dependent on any imported solution. And based on that, the management has appreciated is really good. And they have set up a full group on that. Although I was alone when I joined, now we are having a team of some 20 people. And now this year they are approving, okay, you can recruit some 8 to 10 the PhDs also. So it's a kind of this thing, support, and is and the students what are taking care, and you see reading is weakness and the strength of that. It's really this thing, marvelous and impressive. So with that, I wish you happy, healthy, and dynamic lifetime. Thank you, sir.
So since we don't have power, I think so we'll start with the offline people. So I request all the members that we call to speak around for 3 minutes and begin with an introduction of yourself so all can relate to you. So since we have a long list of participants who want to speak, we request everyone to stick to the 3-minute timeline. So first we'll ask Professor Sujit if he can.
And then later on I joined as a PhD with Professor Ghose. So it was a very different experience in the sense that we used to have very short deadlines, but it was really good. We learned a lot from him. One thing was in 2025, so one particular part was that when we did a paper with me and Arpita for an hours, wherein we started 3 days before and we finished in 3 days, and professor was like continuously working from morning till evening, working on the papers while we were just generating the results. So it was really the spirit of doing research in such short duration, continuously giving support was something really encouraging, which I still continue with that with my students. Thank you, Professor, for everything.
Next we'd like Professor Arpita.
Thank you, Ashwini, for giving me this opportunity to talk here. So I am Arpita Sinha. I did my PhD with Professor Ghosh from 2003 to 2000. Okay, I'm a very bad speaker and I'm always nervous. Last year around this time, Ashwini mentioned that we are going to have this occasion, and since then I've been thinking what I should be saying today, and now I'm all confused. So I just scribbled down something in my phone so that I don't miss out. So the most important thing is there are so many things about Professor Ghosh. Most important thing I feel is like I've never seen him being angry. And his criticisms are always so constructive, and he never judges people. He judges the situation and responds accordingly. It's not the personality that he judges. So when I passed out, I thought, oh, it's okay. He does it so well, so I should be able to do that as well. And I tried that, and when I tried, I understood how difficult it is to be anything near to how Sir is. So, so I remember one incident, since the reminiscence, I'll just mention that. So, in my colloquium, for my colloquium, I was very late in preparing my slides, and so I finished it the night before, and it was very late. And I had something like around 150 slides. And I didn't have time to practice, so I thought I'll be fast because I just have 1 hour to finish my colloquium. And when I started my presentation, I was rushing through the slides, eventually I finished in only half an hour, and obviously went very bad. So anyway, that didn't stop me from submitting the thesis, but I was also applying for faculty positions in different IITs, and so I had my faculty interview in IIT Guwahati, And before that, sir gave me an opportunity to practice and present once more. So Professor Mani, Krishnanand and sir was there in our old STC seminar hall, and so I prepared and I was trying to present it properly, and there were questions and I fumbled, and things really didn't go as I was expecting, and I couldn't answer almost many of the questions, and I started feeling bad. Two reasons. One is because I couldn't answer the what I had worked on, and the second was like they have been spending time for me and I'm not doing an honor. To the extent that at one point of time I couldn't control myself, I bursted into tears. But anyway, I went back to the lab, I gathered myself, I walked on those lines, and then when I presented, so my faculty talk, so they called it, all the candidates, we had the talk in the morning and interview in the afternoon. So when I gave my presentation, it went very well. More than that, I could read it from the panel members during my interview. And it was like, it was so overwhelming, that impression was. And even I overheard when I was coming out of the room that I had a wonderful recommendation letter also in my application. So that was, so yeah, I got the job there, and then everything else followed up. But that's one thing I really, one of the many things that I wanted to say here. So I don't have much time, but I just also want to thank Phoebe. It was wonderful interacting, mainly because I could open up with her. Somehow I have been always being shy with her, and yeah, that's how it happened. Thank you very much, sir, and I hope we'll still get your guidance as long as we can. Thank you very much.
I would next like to call Professor Sheeba.
Good afternoon, everyone. I feel honored to stand here today to speak about Professor Ghose, my PhD guide. He was not only guide, he was a mentor who led us with discipline, then patience, and his commitment to excellence. So basically, when I joined here in IISc in August 2001, Professor was on sabbatical in USA. So our initial communications happened through email. So during this communication, email communication, he has assigned research work. So during that time, I was very new to the research and I was not having any idea what is a research. So basically, he asked me to model a military field scenario. So I was not having any background at all. By seeing that, I was really in tension, and I was like stressed out. I was thinking at that time, because I have not met him in person. So I thought he is a very strict person, keeping the deadlines and all. But few months later, sir returned back from US. Then I got the opportunity to meet him in person. Then I realized that he is very calm, humble and compassionate person, and very approachable. And during that time, actually I was carrying, and the care and the flexibility he had given me, it is very commendable, and I will never forget that, and I'll be forever grateful for that. And the environment he has created in the lab, it was very peaceful, and I have observed that, as everyone told, the calm nature, I have never seen him getting angry at all to anyone. No harsh words, or never dictate us to do something. So that is, the peaceful atmosphere and the environment he created in the department. So that was, the kind of, because I was like a bit hesitant, like, whether to continue or not, because I was in that situation. But because of the way he created the environment, which helped me, and it was a huge sigh of relief for me, and that helped me to pursue my PhD, and that is the only reason I could complete my PhD under him. And another thing I want to mention is that his attention to the detail. See, whenever we were like preparing any document, whether it is for any article or journal or for the thesis, the attention to detail and the perfection. So he never compromised on it for that one. So for my thesis, for each and every chapter, I could still remember that it had gone to several iterations and that refining. So several iterations means some 3-4 reviews it happened, and the final outcome of that thesis report was like high quality document I could get. And it is not because of me, it is because of the dedication sir had given for reviewing it. He had dedicated his time for reviewing it properly, fine tuning my work. So that was like, that quality. Still I had taken that quality from him, like how you have to be having a quality or the perfection in life. So that is what I learned from him. And as sir embarks on to the new chapter of his life, I wish him good health, happiness, peace and fulfillment. And sir, your legacy will live on through your remarkable work and for the endless students whom you have inspired. Thank you for everything, sir. Thank you very much. And I thank Ashwini for giving me the opportunity to stand here and present this. Thank you all. Thank you, the organizers.
Next we'd like Professor Guruprasad to say a few words.
Anyway, people can hear us. Okay. I was in IISc. I know about IISc environment because I had been, I did my master's here in mechanical engineering, and I did my half PhD in mechanical engineering too. So I was very comfortable with IISc environment. But when I came back later to continue my PhD, so I got Professor Debasish Ghose as my guide. And in spite of all this experience, I knew IISc, but it was different. It was at a different level. And he was my PhD guide, but a guide in true sense, not only for PhD, and a guide and mentor. As somebody mentioned, he actually has got ability to, the judge is a wrong word, but I'll still use it, or to understand your strength and weakness. And he actually works on your strengths and tries his best to, kind of improve on your weaknesses. On a lighter side, everybody was saying he was very calm. Nobody saw him when he was angry. So that is what I tried to pick so that I can be different. Okay. He is calm, but he will ensure that you will not take his calmness for granted. And during my thesis writing and correction, first I'll tell you I'm not telling this in a negative sense. The literature survey he asked me to structure in some way. Of course, I thought of my own structure and gave it, but he was not happy with that. So that is where he showed, I don't want to use the word anger, but he showed that he's not happy with that. And the thesis or paper, like I think Sheeba has mentioned that, the meticulous correction, that is actually a kind of any guide. It's a guidance for how do you guide a student, right? So the balance between giving a student freedom to do what he wants to do and giving a right guidance so that it's like a driving a vehicle, something like that. So many times in PhD guidance, yesterday I think Arpita asked that, giving problem to student, giving freedom, how much freedom we should give. Many times I have seen in IISc itself and in my other places also, that guides give too much freedom, that much freedom that guide doesn't do anything. And he has given me sufficient freedom, I worked in a problem which he was actually not directly working on, but when I present to him, he will understand what I have done and then tell me what improvement I have to do. So that is not very easy. It looks very easy for us as a student because we think, guides are some superhuman beings. But as a faculty, we realize that you understand what is there are two things. Sometimes I give the problem that I know, so student works. It is like a bigger assignment. It's not research, right? So when I work on something new, which is, of course, the problem he has given me, the broader problem he has given me, and then I work on that. You make a meticulous presentation, and all the students at my time, he had several students. We, Arpita, all of us were together. So he understands, he gives that much time and understands everything, and over and above, he will tell you, what is the right direction, what is wrong. One point I had mentioned yesterday during my presentation, yesterday or day before, so I don't want to repeat that. So the details of, technicality that he gets into, not even when it is his direct problem. There are two kinds of problems we give to students. One is what I am working on, that I am comfortable. Now students take up a slightly different problem that may not be completely in my domain, right? So that learning from the student and then guiding, going ahead of the student and guiding. So that is one thing. So I am trying to, within my level, I am trying to, imbibe some of these qualities in guidance, but I confess I cannot go to that level. And I thank him for all the things and wish him all the best.
Dr. Anand, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. If you'd like to switch on your camera, that is okay as well.
Okay. Can you see me now?
Yeah, we can see you.
Okay. So let me know when I can get started.
Yeah, Dr. Anand, you can start.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. It gives me wonderful pleasure to share some of my thoughts and my senses with Professor Ghosh. Of course, if I talked, probably I can talk for hours together and still not be done. So, though it was probably our working things was probably for 3 years, but it has lasted all that I really I have enjoyed working with him, enjoyed being with him, enjoyed spending time. And when I was in Bangalore on Wednesday, again that time, Wednesday and Thursday, it was again a wonderful memories for me. It was so nostalgic. Continue there for the rest of the session also. Anyway, just to given the time, I just want to touch upon a few things that what I want to distinctly bring about. There are so many things that he has touched me, and then during my panel session also, I had a chance to share what he was to me. He taught me everything, and today, if I am what I am, it's all many of the things
Dr.
that I have
Anand,
imbibed from him.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. If you could switch off your camera, we are facing a network issue here. Maybe if you switch off the video, we would be able to hear you better. Yeah, sorry, thanks.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Okay, so Professor Ghosh in his talk today, he was talking about the library books, how he used to go to the library and go to a section of the library where not many people visited. And interestingly, Professor Ghosh introduced me to that section of that library in IISc, where we could get plenty of novels and which nobody used to touch. And I was one of those few people who benefited from it, and I used to borrow a lot of books. And again, he actually encouraged me to do a lot of such readings during my time, and I started picking it up. And ever since, reading has become one of my fundamental hobbies, which has helped me through these stages. Whenever I was I'm alone, a book will always be there with me, which will be my companion. So that was something that I remember. I think that end of the hall, the few shelves in the end of the hall that Professor Ghosh mentioned, I was also one of those people who used to sit at the end and read some books in there and borrow books there. Something which he imbibed in me was his systematic approach to work. I talked about it, how he used to be that 9 to 6 person, and he encouraged us also to follow similar kind of an approach. I think that is something that I have actually followed all through my life ever since. One thing which about Professor Ghosh which stood out, something very remarkable which I have seen in very, very few people. Professor Ghosh treated everyone with respect, and he never showed a difference, even be a person like maybe an office staff or somebody who's come to clean the room, or somebody to probably even the director of the institute. Everybody, he treated them all alike. Everybody, he treated them with due respect. And students had special place of him in his heart. He always, and the way he treated us, we never felt that he was actually he was our. He used to feel so protected with him, and that we open up and we things which very easily. So there is something again I learned from him, and I have tried to live that life, treating respect for what they have and what they are to us, even if it be a small activity. I have to appreciate that and show our gratitude for having supported us in that small activity that they did for us. And Professor Ghosh also talked about encouraging people to get married. Of course, he did not outwardly encourage, but then he happened to be the first of his women who got married during the PhD itself. While I was doing my PhD, I got married, and my wife grew from a small town, like what Professor Ghosh was, to a Rockhill was, and Professor Ghosh grew up. My wife grew up from a similar township called Neyveli, which is about 200 kilometers from Chennai. So he came to Bangalore. That was the first exposure to Bangalore. He didn't know many people there. Swati took her, Ghosh's wife, Swati took her under her fold and literally was a tremendous support to her those few months, the early months of our marriage. I think something that my wife never forgets what Swati did for her. And for me personally, Swati was advising me on how I should treat her and how, because she is coming from one unknown background to something, an environment completely new to her, and she advised me on how I should treat, so these things are something which I have never heard from anybody else. Because be it my parents or my friends or enough friends have actually told me, sir, I'm so it's so wonderful to that Swati could actually guide me along, and because she had that experience of how a bride will feel when she goes into some new house. So based on that experience, she told me what it was and how I should behave. That was of tremendous support and use to me. So these are all things which I mean, among the very many things which many people would have experienced, but these are certain things which I don't know how many of you have had similar experiences, but something which stood by me and something which I can never ever forget all my life, and they have made really a significant mark in my life and my wife's life, that they have become very special people to us. I think I would like to stop here so that I don't keep talking. Otherwise, I would be talking forever about Professor Ghosh and Swati, and of course Debraj, who was born after I joined for my PhD with Ghosh. So I had the privilege of playing with him as a kid, as a baby, and carrying him along and do so many things, so many things which I can, I still, when I think about it, it feels so nostalgic. Yeah, to stop my talk here and leave it to the others to share their views. Thank you so much, Ashwini and team, for giving me this opportunity to share my reminiscence and calling me out when I had returned back to Chennai for my some other engagement that I had today. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Anand, for joining with us.
We'll request all GCDSL members to please finish their talk within 3 minutes, because we have a long list of speakers, and if you have anything extra to say, you can obviously say that in the lunch break. So now we'll like to invite Professor Jisha.
Respected professor, former professors, my dear friends, a very warm good afternoon. Let me first thank Ashwini for organizing this event so beautifully that I never imagined I'll be able to come back and meet all of my friends and Prof, and it was such a happy moment and happy occasion for all of us. Thank you once again, Ashwini, for organizing this beautifully. So I've written down some points because I know Ashwini, because he's too keen on timing, so I should not take extra time. Okay. So unlike most of the students, I joined as a QIP scholar in 2007. So I'm basically from Kerala, accompanied by my 3-year-old daughter, Devika. So I have completed my master's way back in 2000. So I was returning to studies after 7 years of my master's. And my daughter was also there. I was quite anxious, whether I will be able to manage everything. So after meeting Prof, I was kind of relaxed because, we all know, how our Prof is. And I was kind of relaxed. Fortunately, in between, there were so many friends, and I met a cheerful young girl, Shikha, who has just completed her PG. And we quickly became friends, because for some of the courseworks, we were together. And we were study partners as well. So in the first semester, we were mainly concentrating on coursework, as Prof has given the freedom only to concentrate on coursework, and we didn't do much of research, and reading papers were not there. And after coursework phase, Prof asked us to read some papers, papers of interest. So definitely we are going to, Prof means there will be some areas of interest. And as Prof was going through some of the papers, which I have read and I have taken the printout, and Professor pointed out and said, okay, this looks good one. And that was a paper by Wolfram Burgard. So that moment became a starting point for my research journey. So I still follow this approach, sir, actually, wherein, my own students, I do follow this strategy, encouraging an alignment between interests of the student and the supervisor. Because Arpita was telling how do we reach at a research problem. So this is the way which I follow, as I learned from Prof. And the discussions, the GCDSL presentations, the feedback both during and after, and all those by Prof. So as Sheeba was explaining how he was correcting the papers, the presentations, the perfection he expected, I still remember. And for my thesis, as I was a QIP scholar, I had to go back after 3 years. And my thesis corrections, Prof has corrected everything, and he has scanned and sent it to me by mail. So he took that much effort so that we could complete the work. And there were many times I was worried because I have a small kid and she was like allergic to Bangalore climate. Many a times she was not well, and like the domestic help was like missing, and I was tense at many times. But no, balancing research and caregiving was real struggle. But after conversation with Prof, no, like I felt reassured and I was always ready to move forward. And thank you, sir, for being a true mentor, a role model, and a guiding light. It's only because of you, your unwavering support, I could complete my PhD. I am forever grateful to you. Thank you, sir.
We would next like Professor Shikha to say a few words.
Good afternoon. All of my friends know that I'm very bad speaker. Okay. So, first of all, thank you, the entire team. Okay. I'm very lucky. In the last discussion, you remember that there was a discussion that luck plays a great role. I really believe in that. Okay. Otherwise, from a small, tiny village, I wouldn't have reached here, and I wouldn't have got assigned under Professor Ghosh. Okay, every time I failed, every time I tried and it was not working, he was there, always with me. And now also, whenever I'm not able to solve any problem, I feel that he should stand and he should tell me, Shikha, you can do it. Okay. So, yeah, always, he never scolded me. But I don't know why I was so afraid. Okay, let me confess something. Okay, so many times I wanted to meet Prof, but I didn't go directly. Instead of that, I used to go there to feel water, because that water tank was next to his room. So when I'm crossing, if he's calling, then only I'll enter. I was not having the courage. So this is one thing. Another thing is all my faculty selection presentation, the initial round of presentation, I did quite well because I was selected for the second round. But it was just because that I was always feeling I should perform good because I am DGHOS student, otherwise it will be a bad name to DGHOS. That was the motivation to prepare or to present. So after IITB's interview, this presentation, I called Prof and told, sir, presentation was very good. Then he was telling, yeah, I knew it. And it was because, before that, like Professor Arpita told, that he took mock. And the mock day, that lot of questions were asked, same thing, okay, I couldn't answer. And after coming from the room, I was crying, same. Okay, and then he took me in the room. Then he was telling, why are you so confident? Because you are doing extremely well. These are the questions just to give you the preparation. Okay, so I don't know that there are many occasions like during comprehensive time also is supported, because we were always afraid of re. You remember that word we used to use, that re, okay, whether we'll get re, okay. So that time I was having a lot of fear, but before the compre, he took so many mocks. I don't know how many supervisors will put that much time with that busy schedule. I'm really surprised. And I had a very tough time during my PhD. After joining, within 15 days, my father died. Okay, all the support was given by him, and ma'am called me at home, and she gave me all the support I needed at that time. Okay, so it was because of him I could complete my PhD. I'm very thankful. I know many are there, so I'm not taking more time. So I'm very thankful to Prof and Madam and entire my GCTSL team, that family, especially to Jisha, okay, who was there with me every moment, now also, okay, every time we are very, she's my kind of, she's there for all ups and downs, okay. So thank you all. Thank you, sir. I wish a very happy and healthy life. Thanks. Thank you.
Next, we'd like Shalabh Mehta to.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, sir. My name is Shalabh Mehta, and I work in DRDO. Now, not many of you might be knowing me, but what's most important that you all remembered me to call for this occasion, because if I had by any chance missed this would have been really a big missed opportunity, because I really want to thank Professor Ghosh for many things he did and all the support I got during my 2 years of PG here. He did save me from one big trouble. That's a different story for the time. I was not actually, it's rare that professor get challenged by a student. It's the best students that challenge them, but I was on the other end, maybe average or below average. So with that, Professor Ghosh has got one great skill, that he gives personalized solution for everyone. Wherever you stand, you get your the solution suited to you. So he gave me that guiding hand, and ISC can be a challenging experience. First I came here, I was in coursework itself, I felt a little bit terrified, a little challenged. He made this experience really easy for me, and thanks to his guidance, I could finish my degree. There are many things he taught me, and it's as if not too long ago, but yeah, 15 years ago, I remember he invited all of these students to his home. We were all there for lunch, and there are too many the human aspect we see when we were at with professor at home. I do remember one book, Life of Pi, in his shelf someplace. Of course, film came later. So he is a good avid reader, and he did taught me to read and do all the good things I can do in my life. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Next, I would like Professor Dwaipayan to say a few words.
Thank you for organizing all of this, and to the man whom we owe so much. I wouldn't repeat all of the great things that have been said about the great man himself here. I would rather say that it is the little things he does which have such an indelible impression on each and every one of us. So I just like to focus. We have 3 minutes, so perhaps 3 little anecdotes would suffice. One from a professional perspective, and 2 perhaps from a more personal perspective. The professional one was, I remember the first paper that I wrote. Yeah, and as usual, Professor Ghosh, in those days it was hard copy, so he wrote a lot of comments and every single little comma, the Oxford comma, right? I was aware of it, but he would mark every single comma, every single punctuation mark and everything. And he had a lot of queries like, what is going on here? And foolish as I was, I thought he really didn't understand some of the things that I had written. So I was preparing for the next meeting, the next day, to explain to him on the board, like, okay, this is what I meant by this, and this is what it means and all. And within a minute of meeting him, I realized my folly. He was in on everything. He was just teaching me to express more clearly, right? I had a bit of, if I may say, ego about my writing skills. So I thought I was writing well. And here, it was a huge eye-opener. It completely revealed to me what you need to do in order to get technical writing right. And everything that we do, even the papers that Shashi and I write these days, we can see it's like, there's this notion of Gurukul. The fact that we come from the same heritage is evidenced by the fact that when Shashi writes the first line and I write the second line, we know that it merges together into a single kind of a form. And it's no wonder, because we've learned from the same man himself here, right? So that's from the attention to the tiny little details professionally. But if you thought that it was only reserved for his professional life or professional aspects of his life, you're mistaken. So I'll narrate to you 2 instances, and I'll not take too much time. First was when we went to his place with our families to invite him and Swati madam for our wedding. And they had somehow heard that my then would-be wife and my current wife, Debolina, she's fond of eggs, egg curry, right? So this was in 2014, sometime in probably November or December 2014, November 2014, yeah. So he had heard it, and well, that day there was fish and chicken, so there was no egg, I suppose. Now, then I had gone off after my wedding, I had finished my PhD, I went off to Israel, and it was 2016, I presume, when my mother-in-law had visited. My wife was still doing her PhD here in the neuroscience department, and somehow, you know, Professor Ghosh has this unique way, his network, and of course, I think Swati madam is completely part of that network. They found out that my mother-in-law was here visiting. So they invited them over to their house. I wasn't here, mind you. And this is more than 2 years after the last meeting when they had learnt about my wife's affinity towards egg. And I heard that evening during the phone call with my wife that Professor Ghosh had prepared the egg dish himself. He had remembered 2 years down the line. Yeah? That tells you how much a person cares. It is getting the little things right, believe me. You can be a great researcher, you can publish in great venues, your students might do well, but it is these little things that make people remember you as a person, which is what brings us all here. The moment we hear about it, there's no second guessing. We'll all be here, and I knew it. I'd find almost everyone who shared the lab space with us during my stay here. Yeah, I knew it. And sure enough, I've been proved right. The second instance, and this is again a very personal anecdote, somehow during our conversations I realized that we were fellow aficionados of, you know, classic literature and things that we see in a museum usually. He would talk about stuff in museums, what are the good museums to see in the different cities, and I like history as well. So somehow when I went for my first trip to the US for a conference, in those days it was called GNC, and I was walking through this so-called big mall of America, and there were these antique stuff there, and I saw a pocket watch, and Minnesota is called the city of lakes, so I saw this pocket watch, and somehow it ranked that this must be something that Professor Ghosh would appreciate. So I got it for him. This was 2012, yeah? Just a few months back, one of Shashi's students had his defense, and Professor Ghosh happened to be the examiner, so Professor Ghosh along with Swati madam was visiting IIT Bombay, and when we had them over at our place, lo and behold, 13 years down the line, he still had the watch absolutely intact, and he was actually using it, he was wearing it. It is such a touching moment, yeah? To conclude, I would just say, you know, coming from a sort of an agnost/atheist, but I do appreciate poetry nonetheless, I would just like to close on a few lines by William Butler Yeats. It's a poem we had read long back when I was in my middle school. It's a poem called The Ballad of Father Gilligan. It's about a priest who is serving his parish, and one night he really grows very tired and he falls asleep. So he fails to serve a particular sick family in his parish, and when he wakes up in his chair, he suddenly realizes that, oh, he has failed his Lord, he has not served his parish as well as he should have, and he feels very guilt-stricken about it. And then he realizes that somebody was there in his stead to serve that sick person, and he feels it must have been the work of God, who must have sent somebody else in his stead to take care of this sick person. So the last 4 lines, if I remember them right, of this poem were, "He who is robed in purple robes with planets in his care had pity upon the least of things, asleep upon a chair." So even when he failed his duty, God took care of it, right? So that is one lesson I have learned from him. I don't know how much I'll be able to imbibe it in my life, but he takes care of, you know, these tiny little things like us and turns them into something great. I don't know if we are greats, but it is not for any want of effort on his part. It's probably our failing if we don't manage to realize our potential. But he certainly has this magic. With that, I would like to thank him for everything that I owe professionally, and also a lot of personal qualities that I have tried to imbibe, again, in many cases unsuccessfully in my life. A last request, if it's not very imposing upon you, I was absolutely enthralled. So far, I have just read your papers, technical papers. I was absolutely enthralled by the article that I read in the magazine that your current students have published, for which again I'm thankful to them. And I really have this request. If you find a little bit more spare time now that you're officially retired, although I realize you'll still be around in the department and the institute, please do find time to write up every now and then. We'd be so grateful for every single page, every single paragraph that you write. It's such a pleasure. I actually scanned up the pages and sent to my students yesterday. I said, this is exactly what every young researcher needs to read. This is so inspirational without being preachy. I don't know how you do the amazing things that you do, but please keep doing them for many more years to come. Thank you for everything once again, sir.
Professor Satadal.
So, good afternoon, everyone. So, all about some personal experiences that I want to share, because all the qualities, we all know, and all of you have heard by now. So, some personal experiences. My connection with Professor Ghosh dates back to 2007. So, 2007 Accords, I just 1 year before I just graduated from my undergraduate program at Jadavpur University. So we had a paper in Accords 2007. We came to present, and we saw that a person of this kind of stature, such humble and all that. So I learned in my school days, they used to tell that as you grow and as you learn more, you should be more and more humble. So it says that Vidya Dadati Vinayam, right? So I saw that personification of that humility there, right? So I was kind of, okay, this may be the right place, and he may be the right person with whom I should be thinking about some higher studies and all that. Later then I joined ISI for my masters, and I was not sure what is going to happen and all that. Of course, I was doing okay in my academic career, that was fine, but I kept on being in touch with him and getting his mentorship every now and then. Even then I was not a formal student here. So for example, okay, sir, I have got this opportunity for this thing. And there is an alternative opportunity also at the same time. So please guide me which one I should go for and all that. So he never gave me a kind of direction that you should do this. He would rather discuss that, see, this has pluses like this, minuses like this, that has pluses like this and minuses like this, and now choice is yours. So you take the call where you want to go. You are the best judge of, what you want to do, right? So here comes the next thing, that appreciating one's freedom, right? Appreciating one's freedom to choose, right? But not wildly, but wisely, right? So that's what was the second thing. And then the third thing, when I came for interview here, so I joined eventually here under his guidance. So I think 1.5 years almost got over, and as you all know that initially we are busy with the courseworks, right? So we don't do that much research. But even in the first year, we are not initiated to guidance in that formal course form. But we registered for the course like advanced guidance, right? And so what Professor Ghosh suggested us is that 1 month time you have to first go through the basic guidance course lecture notes, and then also appreciate at the same time the papers that are being discussed, right, during that advanced guidance course, right? And I was kind of, I was thinking that okay, 1 month time, that is fine, we can do that. But parallelly also appreciating the advanced guidance course papers, right? Those papers were quite seminal papers in the respective fields, right? And they were also, some of them were also quite advanced. And one day I just, I went to his office and I told about this thing. Then he told, okay, so life is not always like about, this is again like, it's not, maybe some of us may react if some student comes and says, but he was again like as calm and quiet, and he just simply said that take it as a challenge and do it. That's it. No others word. So okay, fine. So I came back. That's fine. And we really did well, and we learned in one semester the basics of guidance, and we also read, I think, every week like 4 papers we used to read in that course, like 2 days, 2 into 2, 4 papers, and if it is like 4 months means like 16 into 4, 64 odd papers we read in one semester. And we made a full report which was like for each paper, like I think 3 pages around. So it was a kind of book for each of us. We were writing like that, right? So, and we understood, it was a full lesson how to appreciate a paper, how to read and understand a paper, how to then represent it, right? How to analyze it, how to criticize it. So how to criticize it means not for the sake of just negative criticism, it is for the sake of positive criticism, because that gives us the way to go ahead, to go forward, right? So that was the next thing. Coming to research, I was again 1.5 year was over, and I was still not getting the first result, I was still not having first papers, so to say, and I was kind of I used to discuss with him like full board of equations and all that, like we used to sit day and night, and then someday he told that, okay, why you are thinking that this term will be positive? And it was some discussion in the morning, and I went back and I was I was getting fresh and having lunch. All on a sudden that, okay, if it is negative, then what will happen? All those things were in my mind, and basically it was a eureka moment. In the second half I came back and I told Professor Ghosh that, sir, the first work is done. And literally he told, is it? Then I told, yes, that was the only block actually. So essentially every step was done, but in traditional concepts, some term we want it to be positive, but for that particular thing, it was not necessary to be positive, so it could be negative also, right? And if it is negative, whether it is assuring other things, so the other analysis just fell in line, and we sat again for 3 hours. He actually asked, there was some meeting scheduled, so he told, no, we'll do it later. So he sat with me for 3 hours. We did again the full lot of derivations and done. So this is how this is like all small things that have left indelible marks like that we have seen, right? So some experiences I have shared in the magazine already, but these are the experiences that I am telling you, like which are beyond them. I am even till date I am a bit idealistic in terms of seeing the results that my students are producing and also sending them for publications and all that. I was a lot more idealistic that time. So I was not very sure that whether whatever I have done, whether that is sufficient. And then he was there, he told that, see, even if it is not sufficient, let us consider that, okay, it may not be sufficient, but even if it is not sufficient, what are you losing in sending there? I told, yes, I'm not losing anything. So that's how we should see the things, right? I mean, it's not that always you should be always idealistic. So the practicality, right? The practicality matters a lot. So that's the another aspect, right, that I learned in that. And when I was in my 5th year, I was struggling with some proof, and I was not sure that where to end, because if I continue, then to have that proof, and that we found it quite not traceable. So he told that, see, life is a continuous process. Again, another practicality, right? That pragmatism. So life is a continuous process. Research is a continuous process, right? It will go lifelong. right? But PhD should be time truncated, which I always tell to my students also. So PhD should be time truncated. Yeah, fine. And then he asked me that you should start writing thesis. And in that way, like, okay, we did. So even after that, every time, like anything, like for anything, like I need suggestion, be it professional, be it personal, like yes. I mean, he's always there, like, okay, sir, so this is the situation. I want to have a discussion with you. Are you free maybe in the evening or something? Yeah, sure. Why don't you call? And we are having the discussions and all that. So that's how, like, so that accessibility that I have seen, like, is remarkable, amazing. I would kind of, it's just like words are less to really say that what we can talk about you, sir, like all our personal experiences. So I would say, I would end with 2 lines from Tagore. Again, Tagore is always there with us in all moments, right, for Bengalis. And if you understand the English translation, I will also do that for you. So you will also understand that, okay, it's the right moment to say. So the 2 lines of this song says, Modhuro tomar shesh jena pai, prohor holo shesh, bhubon jure roilo lege, anondo abesh. So it is like you are the infinity. You are the infinite. You are the infinite nectar that does not have any end. It's endless. But we are seeing it as a personification within you. The time has come to kind of formally have some end, but so its effect is long, and it's going on long. Yeah. So thank you, sir. Thank you for everything. Yeah.
So good afternoon, everyone. So I must thank Professor Ghose for whatever I am today here. Like I've done my master and PhD from the same place. I mean under Professor Ghose. But I must remind one incident when I first joined as a master student in ISC. So that time I was suffering from jaundice and I missed the initial few week lecture, and then when I went to class after missing like a 3-4 week of lecture, I was thinking that I can't manage it because every course was just taken peak, and I just thought that it's very difficult for me to manage. Then I just went to him and I said that I want to quit because possibly I will not be able to continue. Then he asked me that what was your background? Then I said I was from the electronics communication. Then he said that when he joined first time in BTech, what did you know about the electronics? I said nothing. Then he said that if you can manage with the electronics, why can't you manage with the aerospace also? And after that, I never looked back. And then I did decent in all the course which were taught by many of us here, like Professor Matthew. He was teaching the fluid mechanics course, and that was like a nightmare for us. But because coming from the background of electrical, but I could manage and I do very well even in that course. Because after having discussion with him, I was not scared of any other course, and I just managed. And then it was him, because after discussing with him and working with him for the master, I even got inspired and continued in my PhD. And then he supported me all throughout the PhD, even through postdoc. During that time also we had a discussion. During my all the applications to different IITs, he has supported me to great extent. He even took mock, as Arpita was saying. So for me also he took mock, and that was very helpful in clearing all the formalities in the IIT applications. So I must thank Professor Ghose for all the things and whatever he has helped. And I request to give us the guidance all throughout our career. Thank you, Professor Ghose.
Professor Satadal would like to say a few words.
So just one thing I missed actually. I was beyond academics and research. I was very heavily associated with cultural activities when I was here, as a part of Bengali Cultural Association Spandan. And for that reason, many times it was like I was not present in the lab. Okay, and my chair used to be empty. So I was afraid to some extent, but I knew that, okay, Professor Ghosh is quite supportive about it. So one day he passed a message to my fellow lab mates, ask Satadal also to be there for some time at least in the lab. So that was the only thing that I heard. But okay, he was sure that I was doing work. So in that way also it's okay. But I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Swati Madam also, because I mean because of her, like, okay, this connection to Spandan and all the cultural activities. So we could do a lot. Even Dwaipayan was also part of it, like very heavily. During that time, some others also, I can see Rajarshi is there now, and so many others were also there at that time. So we were a gang, basically, like in the committee and also in all cultural activities also, we were heavily participating, and they were always supportive about all these things beyond academics and research. So I thank you, both of you, for all those things. Yeah, thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Commander Alok Kumar Sahu, and I had the privilege of being mentored by Professor Debasish Ghose during my masters at ISC starting in 2015. I wish I could be there in person for Assets 2025, but I am scheduled to move on board Shakti. Even from afar, I wanted to share what Professor Debasish Ghose has meant to me, not just as a mentor, but as someone who has truly shaped my life. When I first approached Professor Ghosh, I was hoping to work on an ambitious idea, building an underwater remotely operated vehicle. I expected a technical interview, but instead we spent almost an hour talking about cats. At the end of it, I asked if he could consider being my mentor. He smiled and said, I thought I had agreed a long time back. That was beginning of something special, a relationship that went far beyond academics. Professor Ghosh saw something in me that I hadn't yet seen in myself. Throughout the ROV project, I presented our work at various platforms. Some people liked or were encouraging, but others call it a toy or question its novelty. It was disheartening. But Professor Ghosh never let me lose heart. He shared his own experiences and reminded me that if I believe in my work, I must keep going, regardless of criticism. That mindset carried me forward and later helped me contribute to the Indian Navy Autonomous System project. On the things I admire most is that Professor Debasish Ghose treats his students like family. He is always available, never too busy to help, never too distant to care. He gave us space to explore ideas, but also the confidence to stand by them. Even years after graduation, his warmth hasn't changed. I still carry the lessons I learned under him, not just as a researcher, but as a human being. Professor Ghosh, thank you for your trust, kindness, and your unwavering belief in your students. Your influence lived on in each of us. Wishing you a heartfelt gratitude and congratulations on a joyful retirement. It was truly an honor to be your student. Heartfelt thank you from Anjane, Pratibha, and Alok.
Is there anyone here that I might have accidentally missed? Rajnikant? Ashwin. Yes, Dr. Ashwin from NIT Nagpur.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Ashwini sir and his team for organizing this event and giving me this opportunity to express my feelings and learnings that I had with Professor Ghosh in 5 years of association during PhD and 3 years of stay in IISc. I was QIP student, that's why I could stay here for 3 years only. Okay, so unlike others, my motive for joining PhD was different. I already had faculty position at NIT, so that was not my motive. I missed many things, technical things, during my studies in BTech and MTech. So I want to make up for that. So when I come here, I did some around 15 courses in 3 years of stay. And sir was knowing that I am continuously doing coursework in all 6 semesters of my stay, but he never discouraged me or said me, don't do this, your main aim is to do PhD and all that. Alongside that I did. So that was great help. Second was, after my completing my PhD, I was also supposed to guide PhD students at my place. So I told this also to sir कि मुझे सीखना है कि PhD कैसे कराते हैं. PhD करेंगे वो तो ठीक है. So that also I told sir. Sir also told me many things कि अगर student खराब है तो कैसे करना. And the bottom line that he told me was, never give up on a student. However bad that student is, ऐसे काम कराओ, वैसे काम कराओ, ये करवाओ, अगर क्वालिटी नहीं है तो वॉल्यूम लाओ. लेकिन आप काम कराइए, तो आप काम करवाइए, और जब आपको लगे कि he has done sufficient work for PhD, you give him PhD. So those things are there. Then other things like praising Professor Ghosh is like praising the brilliance of sun. There is no other thing with which we can like compare him. But still, so confirming to all the qualities that you people have like listed here since morning, I will give some incidences that happened with me, and those are like examples of those things only. Like in the very initial days, like maybe first month of my joining and all, I went to sir and I said कि sir ये है ऐसा है वैसा है और ये मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. I am not understanding this, so can you help me? So sir, now generally what happen, if usual guide is there, he will say you are not doing enough work, you should go and read. And या फिर प्यार से कहेंगे ये PhD है, आपको और पढ़ना पड़ेगा. बट सर का जो स्टाइल है, जिसके बारे में सबने सुबह से बात की, सर सेड I also don't know this, I will learn with you. Learn with me. So this is like ये कहना कि आप बहुत पढ़ाई करो, आपको इतना पढ़ना है कि मैं आपसे सीखूं. So this way of articulating is wonderful. Then ऐसे चलता रहा. फिर लास्ट में प्रेजेंटेशन वगैरह स्लाइड वगैरह दिखाएं. सो आई थॉट कि स्लाइड बनाई है. सर विल आस्क अबाउट इक्वेशंस, सर विल आस्क अबाउट फ्लो चार्ट, ये वो. सर डिड नॉट आस्क अबाउट दोज थिंग्स. सर ऑलवेज कमेंटेड अबाउट कॉमा, फुल स्टॉप, कैपिटल लेटर, all these things. गैप कम हो गया, ज़्यादा हो गया, all these things. फिर एंड देन इन द एंड ही सेड, सी गॉड लाइज इन स्मॉल थिंग्स, small details. I think God lies in small details. So and why I am telling this, I am here because I could come here because of sir not only says this, he observed this also or follow this also in his life. So I will tell you a small story. So in last 1 month I am traveling a lot. Okay? So when we travel, definitely people will agree or disagree, but wife gets angry. एक तो तुम काम छोड़ के भाग जाते हो और ऊपर से अकेले जाते हो, मुझे भी नहीं लेके जाते. तो मैंने उसको डर से कहा कि अब मुझे बैंगलोर जाना है 2 दिन के लिए. भाई घोष सर है और घोष सर का हमको सेलिब्रेट करना है. ही इज़ लाइक सुपर एन्यूएटिंग. सो टू ऑनर हिम वी आर, सर इज़ अरेंजिंग दिस एंड आई हैव टू जॉइन. अरे घोष सर का फंक्शन है क्या, फिर तो आपको जरूर जाना चाहिए, जाना ही चाहिए. तो वाई शी टोल्ड दैट? She told that because once after PhD, after marriage, when I come, so sir said, I think your wife is taking good care of you. You look younger than earlier. तो मैंने फिर जब मैं वापस गया ये सब होने के बाद, तो मैंने सुप्रिया को बोला, मिलेगा सर से? हाँ मैं मिला. क्या कहा सर ने? सर ने तेरी तारीफ की. क्या बोला सर ने? So she was very happy. So even without meeting sirs even once, She was so happy. बोले घोष सर का फंक्शन है, आप जरूर जाइए. आप कैसे मिस कर सकते हो? तो सर next time definitely I will bring her and my kids also, and we will meet. And on the lighter note, एक्चुअली सब कुछ लाइटर ही था. तो एक छोटा सा ये और कि लाइक एवरीवन इज वेरी हैप्पी दैट एंड सो मेनी एडवांटेजेस पीपल लिस्टेड फॉर हैविंग वेरी गुड PhD गाइड, है ना. बट देयर आर सम डिसएडवांटेजेस आल्सो. वन आई विल टेल यू. So now when you go with your colleague to attend conferences and all, and in the evening you sit in your hotel room, है ना. So you are doing small party and all, then they start कि मेरा गाइड तो ऐसे बोलता था, my guide said कि I am only correcting, you have to follow this and all that. आप चुपचाप बैठ लेते हो ऐसे. I don't have anything to say. मैं क्या बोलूँगा? बोले ठीक है, एक और हो जाएगा. 3 हो गए, 4 हो गए, हम बोल ही नहीं सकते. इंद्र अभी तुम बोल क्यों नहीं रहे हो? हाँ सर, तो हमारे गाइड तो बहुत अच्छे थे. सर हमसे कहते थे कि आई थिंक नाउ यू हैव डन इनफ फॉर अ PhD, यू शुड थिंक ऑफ राइटिंग थीसिस. तो भी लोग 6 साल के पहले लैब से निकलते नहीं थे. तो हमारे लिए वैसा कुछ है ही नहीं बताने जैसा यहाँ पे. तो सर दिस वॉज लाइक एक्सट्रीमली गुड थिंग. सर टॉट मी डायरेक्टली, इनडायरेक्टली, एंड इन वन रेस्पेक्ट और एस्पेक्ट सर इज़ लाइक गॉड टू मी दैट ही नेवर गेट एंग्री. ये मुझे इम्पॉसिबल लगता है कि आजू बाजू इधर उधर घर में बाहर ऑफिस में इस तरह के लोग रहते हैं और उनको देख के भी गुस्सा नहीं होना. दैट इज अ क्वालिटी दैट ओनली लाइक गॉड लेवल पीपल कैन हैव. लाइक सड़क में ट्रैफिक है हर जगह, मतलब लोग ऐसे हैं जिनके पास बुद्धि ही नहीं है, लेकिन हम गुस्सा नहीं होंगे ऐसा कैसे कर सकते. तो ये तो मतलब वर्षों की तपस्या का फल टाइप है ये. एंड सो सर आई एम very blessed to have Professor Ghosh as my guide. I could work with him for 5-6 years, and what else I can say. Thank you very much, sir, for accepting me in your group and all. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we have Dr. Rakesh Warrier from NIT Calicut.
First of all, thank you, Professor Ashwini and the organizing team for making this wonderful occasion. I am very happy and privileged to be here. I am not a direct student of Professor Ghosh, but even when I was doing PhD, I heard so many things about Professor Ghosh, from Arpita Sinha, from Ranjan Sahu, who was my senior, from Galibar Malik, who was also my senior. So I have heard about Professor Ghosh even that time, and I was working in the area of multi-agent related systems. So Professor Ghosh was the expert in India in this area. So of course we used to hear about him, and even when I took a course of missile guidance, so Professor Arpita used to teach using Debasish Ghose notes. So that was the textbook we were following, and even then, and so when I completed my PhD and I had to come back to India, I had to specifically come back to ISC because of personal reasons, and that's when I requested Professor Ghosh for a position, and he graciously included me for a position as a postdoc fellow in the lab. And I would say I was in the kind of a peak time at the lab, because just before COVID, 2018-2019, and that was a wonderful time being here with Professor Ghosh, who is so humble and who is so perceptive. You can discuss with him anything, and he will ask the exact right question to any person who explains technical things. He will not be bogged down by minute equation details. He will be focused on the overall goal. That is the eye of a very wise and very perceptive person who can see beyond the minor details. And there is so our lab used to have a coffee maker, and they used to have a fridge, and people will be making use of this, and sometimes people will make a mess of this. And Professor Ghosh, if he sees that, he will decide to clean, and that will humble us to make sure that the lab remains clean. Even today, Meenakshi was discussing with us, and I was remembering that. So no small task was too menial for Professor Ghosh if he decides to take it, and he will force us to be perceptive and pay attention. So I remember, so we were conducting one workshop, and there was a sample copy I was giving him, and at the last minute I included the volunteer names, and I misspelled some of the volunteer names. And Professor Ghosh got so upset. How could you make a mistake in your own colleagues' names? And of course, that is one of the things that that kept with me, because when you make those kind of things, you need to pay attention to even the minute details. And I am eternally thankful to Professor Ghosh. Okay, one last bit I want to mention. So at that time, I was attending the interview for BITS Goa for a faculty position, and I had some problem. So I said that internet was not good. I probably will attend at my house. And Professor Ghosh said, okay, why you do want to go there? You attend at my cabin. So I attended the interview in his cabin, that because he had 2 cabins at the time. And I attended that interview there where the network was having no problem and his big screen. So I'm extremely thankful and grateful for Professor Ghosh and also the organizing team for to be part of this. Thank you. So
good afternoon, everyone. So I will just share some of my personal experience with Professor Ghosh. Some of these I have also written in the magazine. So I will just read from that so that I will not skip any of the instances. So it's a privilege to share a few words as we celebrate his retirement and extraordinary academic journey. I had the opportunity to complete both my ME and PhD under his supervision in 2011 and 2017 respectively. I recall my journey with him from the old aerospace engineering building where his office was located to the building where the undergrad BS program is presently run. So most of us, I think we have visited yesterday. And in front of his office was the ISRO cell where we used to gather for our weekly lab meetings. And we were among the lucky batches who studied at both the older and the newer locations of the department, and the whole credit goes to Professor M.S. Bhatt. As my advisor in ME, when I first interacted with Professor Ghosh, he handed me a tutorial paper of Professor Randall Beard and asked me to make a presentation in the coming weekly meeting. It was my first presentation on a research topic, and also like I was not knowing the PowerPoint, and also I studied everything in Hindi, and it was like I have to give a presentation in English, and that too on a complete research topic. I was really very nervous, but however Professor Ghosh has continuously helped me answer the questions. So whenever my lab mates were asking any question, I was looking at him, and he was just helping me to reply them. Actually, I was not able to answer any of the questions at that time. Later, he gave me 2 papers by Professor Sipalchar from University of Oxford, and I think those 2 papers was recommended to him by Professor Sivabanda. And to read, he asked me to read and simulate, and after 2 frustrating weeks of trying and failing to make sense of them, I told him bluntly that they are bad papers, and I couldn't understand anything out of those, and I was really like, what is this? क्या है ये कि मैं क्या इसमें समझ में आ रहा है? कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. It was really very frustrating for me, but with his usual calm, he smiled, listened patiently, and then explained how to approach these papers, what to focus on, and how to dissect them, and how to not get overwhelmed. Eventually, I was able to understand and simulate those papers quite well, which has shaped my master's and PhD journey at IISc. Professor Ghosh always stressed that lab seminars are very important, and each student must attend and actively participate in discussions by asking any tiny doubt or question that they have. I recall in one seminar, no questions were asked by the lab members, and which was not acceptable to him at all. Being a young student in the lab at that time, Professor Ghose asked me a question from the speaker's talk to convey a message to the lab members for their active participation. And I, who was not very enthusiastic about attending a seminar at that time, and that too just after the lunch, had no clue what to answer for that. So, and I was just standing there surprisingly, and Professor Ghose then said laughing, although ragging is not allowed these days, however, professor is always free to rag the students. And I got relief after his funny response. So those days when I was doing my masters, I used to walk into the department that sir could not see me by any chance, as I had not done much progress on my project. One day I met him, because I have to meet him after some few days. So one day I met him telling some random story about the work, thesis work. He told me that he would like to see 10 written pages on the very next day of what I have done so far. It was a nightmare for me. I barely completed 6 to 7 pages copying from here and there, and I was worried about meeting him the next day. However, the meeting was fruitful and Professor Ghose was happy with my tiny effort, which motivated me to push further in my research, in my project. By that time in year 2010, we had shifted to the new department and I was progressing on my ME thesis. In June 2011, Professor Ghose planned to go to US, and he asked me when I would prefer to appear for my final project presentation. So either I want to appear before he is leaving to US, or I want to appear after that. So I told him I will appear when he is back from the US, and in the meantime I will share my report with him while he is away. I emailed it to him expecting suggestions after his return, and to my surprise, I received a scanned version of my entire report after a few days, and he corrected each page of it using the red pen, scanned all the pages, and then shared it with me. So it was something which is tremendously inspiring and extraordinary to me. Now that I am in academia myself, I truly appreciate how exceptional that kind of commitment is. Of course, over the time he is now correcting in PDF, but he is correcting with the same motivation. After a slight stint after my master degree, I enrolled as a PhD student with Professor Ghose. He was very flexible, supportive and helpful all the time. In the first year itself of my PhD, I got a chance to travel to UK under a collaborative project of Professor Ghose with the University of Exeter under the UKD program. It was my first foreign travel, and Professor Ghose explained to me how I should plan this travel, including my visa, the places I have to visit, and the people with whom I must interact. He even guided me what the VFS Global Office looks like, where I need to go there, and what I need to do, submit my documents for the visa. So everything like how the office will look like, where I need to enter and where I need to take a turn, and everything he explained me. And it was like really, he was actually guiding me like a father whose son was going for abroad for the first time. And these were some of the moments I am sure all the students who worked under him have experienced. Now I will come to one more interesting story that will show his another part. So during my PhD years, a new presence joined his office, is a cat whom we named Arrow Cat. And like Professor Pratyush Menon, he actually called it as Arrow Cat. So we noticed that the cat is coming to his office, regularly sleeping there. One day for a meeting, when I entered his office, I heard the cat voice but was unable to find it. I realized that it was sleeping on the chair just behind his back, and professor was just hanging on his seat and working on the computer. to get his attention, often the cat used to sleep just below his computer screen and often stretch his leg across the keyboard. Because when professor is working, the cat is also thinking, oh, it is kind of game. So she will also press the button in between. So he told me that, Anoop, if you get any random email from me, please do not blame me, blame the cat. So whenever Professor Ghose was on leave, the cat used to sit outside his office for hours. I have seen it will come very early in the morning and will sit till evening. And the position also I will describe that how he used to sit. It is something like Nandi sitting in front of the Sivalinga. So it is complete the same position. The cat was sitting there in that position. So which we all have noticed at that time. As soon as Professor Ghose unlocked his office every morning, it is the cat who was just not visible anywhere in the department, and suddenly it will just come with the speed of a missile and will enter inside his room before even he enters, and he will acquire his place and happily will be there for the whole day. And whenever professor will leave from the office, he will just keep the cat outside, and you will be amazed to see that jogging style walking of the cat when he just come outside of his office in the evening. So this is something, this is one another side of his character that makes him valuable and different. Professor Ghose has always been more than a researcher, advisor. He has been a mentor, a motivator, and a model of integrity and academic rigor. Thank you, sir, for everything you have done for your student and for the department. And of course, Swati ma'am is also here with us today and having recently retired as well, that I heard. She has truly been an inspiring and welcoming presence to all of us. My wife Priyanka, and I especially grateful to her for all that she has done. She is coming and meeting all of us anywhere, and she is taking both of us to different places inside and outside. And I wish both of you a retirement filled with joy, good health, exploration, and well-deserved rest. Thank you very much.
Professor Rajnikant.
All right. I think everything has already been said, so let's see. Freedom to speak in Hindi. I think the previous speaker has already set a trend here. So अश्विनी और मैं ISC में पहली बार आए, तो दूर से आए राजस्थान में. I was very surprised, happily surprised कि oh, there is another Rajasthan buddy from far away. And we were both from electrical engineering. So all the courses were structures, propulsion, fluid mechanics. It was really hard. And on the other hand, I was convincing my to-be wife at that time, so that was a hard job too. So it was, so if you have to decide who should be your advisor among all the hard courses and other hard job, it was a easy decision to choose Dr. Ghosh. And once so after ME, I went to DRDO. I think in one accident broke both my arms, and I think ACC paper was presented by Dhananjay in New York, and then we submitted a journal, and reviews came back. We have to address reviews, and when I came recovered, I saw that it is already accepted and reviews were submitted. So thank you, Dr. Ghosh. And after that, I went to US for PhD. I think I regret somehow that at the back of my mind I should have stayed here with all the good things happening. But good, I found another American Dr. Ghosh. That was Randy Beard. I think he's as cool as Dr. Ghosh as well. And so I agree to everything what you guys have said. And I've taken advantage of being Dr. Ghosh's student everywhere in US too. So I think when somebody interviews you and says, oh, where you're from, and oh, I'm Ghosh's student, I think that's how you get admission in PhD and some fundings and everything else. So he's very well known in US at AFRL and everything. All I have to say is just that I'm Ghosh's student. So yeah, thank you very much.
Professor Ratnoo.
Sorry for interrupting. So I just want to tell, like, I didn't know what to talk about, so I typed into ChatGPT, like, do you know Professor Ghosh? Then it told, yeah, he's an eminent researcher in the aerospace engineering department. Then I told, like, can you please help me write a heartfelt thank you message to him? He told, no, I can't do that, that's your job. So now I don't know what to tell. I can just tell that I'm very thankful to Professor Ghosh for whatever he has done to me. And then I want to tell that I had the best time of my life being a student of Professor Ghosh and Sitaram Bhatt. But as there's a mathematical construct like if and only if, that took me a lot of time to understand. So when I tell I had the best time of my life under Professor Ghosh, that doesn't mean that Prof had the best time being my advisor. So, and then the most thing I admire about Ghosh is he's the perfect family man. So I can see Prof and Ma'am always happy and they always are welcoming. So that's what I like to learn from him, and I always wish him all the best, both Ma'am and Prof. Thank you.
Yeah, so, well, I have known Professor Ghosh from 2003, and it's been such a long association, and I'm absolutely sure that, I mean, I'll miss so many things that I would love to talk at this point of time. Maybe I'll just very quickly go through my journey, and yeah, we'll see. So I came to ISC, I boarded a train from Jodhpur, and it kept on going and going, and I was like, man, is this the end of the world? Why does the train doesn't stop? I had never done train journeys beyond 8 hours or 10 hours, and this train took 48 hours and I landed here. Anyway, I'll not get into my ISC life. I mean, that's also an interesting story, but yeah, I think so. I came here, as Rajnikant said, we came from Rajasthan. I did my bachelor's in electrical engineering. ISC was super exciting. Everyone back there told me that, so I had to choose between IITs and ISC. This story we have heard from so many people. I won't repeat that. Everyone told me that ISC is ISC, doesn't matter. So I came here. First semester was not easy. Rajnikant was my roommate. He knows. And I was still trying to sort of find my place here. But I think when I sat in Professor Ghosh's guidance theory class was something really striking and exciting, and all the collision triangle and the geometry, and it really fired my imagination, my interest, my sense of belonging, all that at the same time. So I suddenly felt very excited. Until then it was a struggle, a drag. So at the end of that semester I approached him and asked him that can I do a master's dissertation with you. It was, I think, very, very nice of him to not ask about my academic records and all that, and say that yes, you can. I think that was a great sort of moment. It definitely changed my life. So all along I have been I have had a very freewheeling approach to life. Also to my academic trajectory has been like that. I think at the most critical point of my life, I found Professor Ghosh's guidance and guidance theory. So, yeah, right. So then I started my master's. If I remember correctly, he gave me a paper. Of course, he is very meticulous. All of you know that. He gave me a paper on feedback linearization, if I'm not wrong. I don't know if he remembers, but I do remember. So I struggled with it for a bit, and then but I was still stuck with the geometry and all the collision triangle and the guidance theory. This was more of a controls problem. So I just wrote something on a piece of paper and showed it to him that, sir, I want to do this, and something very trivial, of course. But he patiently listened to me and told that, okay, if that is the case, then why don't you look into this impact angle problem that I think in the guidance community it is garnering some interest. So that's how my master's dissertation problem started. So okay, coming to the end of my master's, so I think it really picked up momentum around maybe December or so, and I really got deeply into the work. And when I finished it in May or June, I think the work there was substantial amount of work. The thesis was very long, mostly because of my amateur writing skills. So I, of course, defended my dissertation. I really enjoyed it. That was a fantastic experience. It really fired sort of my excitement. So as I told you that I have been a very freewheeling kind of approach to life, so I was like, now only thing I want to do is PhD. I had a campus placement offer as well. So for me, the most important interview of my life, I have told this to Professor Ghosh a few times, was the interview that I appeared for to join for PhD in ISC, because I knew that I'll do some very exciting work, but before that I need to get into ISC and join Professor Ghosh. It's possible only after that it's possible. So that interview I will never forget, and it doesn't help if you see Professor Bhatt and Professor Padi sitting on the other side. These were the two people. Bhatt sir is here. I must thank him for all the other things. That interview went on. It was a very long interview. I remember 1 hour or so. But at the end of it, I was not sure what's going to happen. But yes, I was admitted, and I was like, wow, this is a breakthrough. Yes, of course, my PhD life here was, as Dhananjay said, it's exactly the same thing. I don't know if it was Dhananjay or ChatGPT, but we had time of our life here. A lot of my MTech batchmates joined for PhD. So we had a group, Ganesh, Joel, Abhishek, Arvind, of course Dhananjay. So I had time of my life. I would mostly be talking to Payal, my fiancée. We were engaged in 2006, just 1 year into my PhD, or in Gymkhana playing hockey and all that. And yes, whatever work I was doing was exciting, perhaps, but I think one thing that I would like to share with all of you is that GCDSL is great, and GCDSL seminar is greater than that. So Professor Ghosh made it a point that all of us were presenting every week something. He divided the entire lab into robotics, guidance, and UAVs, if I'm not wrong, during that phase. And these are like 3 group meetings per week. The group was so big. And somehow no public holiday came for guidance theory people. I remember making 8 presentations on trot every single week. And I remember one of those evenings I was talking to Dhananjay that, man, tomorrow's GCDSL seminar, I have no clue what to do. And yeah, conversations like that. But we had to do something, because you can't, and it's a serious thing. He said you have the freedom to present whatever you want, even if it is incremental, it's fine, but you have to show up and show us the update. So yeah, thanks to that, some work was accomplished. And then all along he was maybe around 1.5 years into my PhD, perhaps a little later. So he told me that, see, Ashwini, you've done a lot of work, and I think you should think about your thesis, and it can be one of the fastest theses. I said, yes, sir, absolutely, it's a great idea. Yes. And after I come out of his room, I look right, go to my room and go to Gymkhana, play hockey and all that. I was fooling around for a long time. And then one day he came, January 2009, I think 21st January, if I'm not wrong. He told me that he has got an email from Talshima and he's looking for a postdoc. And he told me that he thinks that I will fit very well. And so I said, okay. So he said, fine, then please give me your thesis draft by next Wednesday. So all of a sudden, all that freewheeling was gone. I was totally sort of yeah. So then I had to finish a thesis in a week. Of course, I had work to submit, and so I gave him the thesis, and then I was like, okay, now I've got few days, I can go back to Gymkhana, maybe for 3-4 days. He said, when are we meeting next? I said, you tell me. Okay, tomorrow 10 a.m. Next morning, he comes with that, I don't know, 180 pages or something like that. And as everyone has mentioned, commas, semicolon, all those kind of detailed corrections. All that happened within a month. I just felt like I'm uprooted and launched from ISC. This place is so inviting and so friendly. No one wants to leave ISC, and I am sure I would have dragged it for another 1.5 years perhaps. But he knew, and he thinks about his students so much, also about their careers beyond, that it was because of that I ended up in Israel, and another round of freewheeling started. I'll not bore you about that. Right. So yeah, and then I came back to ISC in 2012, joined as a faculty. I've had the great pleasure and honor of also being a colleague to him. There have been so many things when you, from postdoc to faculty, is I think a jump discontinuity, a lot of troubles. At times I would just walk into his room, and I always knew that if I get an opportunity to talk to him, that's the real difficulty, because after I talk to him, my problems are gone. All the experience and wisdom he has, the advice that he has given me, has helped me in many, many, many difficult situations. I have also been involved in some administrative roles, also supervising students. There have been a lot of difficulties, but I always had the great fortune and benefit of his advice. I consider myself very lucky that at the right time in my life I met him, and it has totally transformed my trajectory and everything completely in the right direction. Yeah, I would also like to thank Swati ma'am and Debraj for being such wonderful friends and family. We have had several gatherings. My wife Payal is here. Parnika and Praveer, they just love Professor Ghosh, and when these people meet, they talk so much about books. I just feel like I'm out of conversation. There's so many things. So he has an amazing sort of connect with children, and the way he interacts with them, and everybody loves him. Also, Swati ma'am is such a warm person. Debraj is also, he's, yeah. So yeah, with that, I would like to wish Professor Ghosh, ma'am, Debraj, everyone very happy. Many, many, many more years to come. I did write, everyone has been asking me, did you write something? Did you write something? So I did write something. So this was about my association with Professor Ghosh. I'm sure I've missed, I don't know, tons of things. But now to tell something about him is, I have written just 4 lines because it's almost an impossible task. This is of course very amateur, but since everybody has requested, it's on you. So, so now I'm not feeling. So yeah, I did. Okay, so this is how it goes. This is in Urdu. I'll also do rough translation at the end. But Urdu and Hindi are more or less the same. So I'm not saying it's some great literary thing. Okay, so these are just 4 lines. तारीफ उनकी कैसे हर्फ व लफ्ज़ों में बयां हो, तारीफ उनकी कैसे हर्फ व लफ्ज़ों में बयां हो, कोशिश भी करे कोई तो कैसे सूरज पे चरा गया हो, कोशिश भी करे कोई तो कैसे सूरज पे चरा गया हो। अनगिनत तकदीरें हैं जो इनके दर पे संवर गई, अनगिनत तकदीरें हैं जो उनके दर पे संवर गई। चलो उन्हीं से किस्से सुने, शुक्राने निशाहों। So what it translates to roughly is that words fall short when it comes to praising him. It's like a lamp trying to show off to the sun. There are countless lives that are transformed by his touch. Let's hear their stories and mark their gratitude. Thank you, sir. Thanks for everything. Thanks for always being there. Thank you so much.
Dr. Rudrashis.
Hello everyone. So I am Rudrashis. I joined Professor Ghosh's lab, GCDSL, in 2017. But the story began much earlier. I was doing my master's in Jadavpur University, and there was a subject, control and guidance. So I was understanding control in a nice way, but I was struggling to understand what is guidance, what is happening and all. Professor Tapan Kumar Ghoshal, I think some of the senior faculties are familiar to his name. He was teaching that subject. I started bothering him like anything, that what is this, why it is like this, and it was very difficult to summarize all the logical coherence on slides. So I don't know why he was very affectionate to me and very like pampered me like anything. So one day he told me, okay, you have so many doubts, I'll send you a material. And he sent me Professor Ghosh's guidance notes, which we studied later also. So that time I started feeling that guidance is not that difficult, like it can be managed. And I thought that if I do PhD, I'll do it with Professor Ghosh. So before the interview happened here, I wrote a mail to him that, sir, I want to do PhD under your guidance. So as he is, I got a very polite mail in few hours, maybe 2-3 hours, that it is fine, but you have to go through the interview. If you crack it, then you come here, meet all the faculties. I would suggest that you don't restrict your possibilities, meet everyone and then finalize your thesis area. But I had the habit that if I feel that I want someone in my life, I make it happen by hook or crook. I am telling it so confidently because I have done it with many people, including my wife. Okay. So what I needed to do for this was to prepare for IISc interview. I prepared and I cracked it. I came here, I got him as a guide, but then the problem came with the coursework. When the IISc coursework started, then I understood that I am trying to swim, but gulping only saline water. Okay. So he encouraged me like anything, that it's fine, in the first semester it happens, it's not a big problem. So somehow over the years I tackled the pressure of IISc and he helped me like anything. Many words are already spoken about him, but I want to share 2-3 stories. Experiences are very personalized, so I would tell my stories. We had numerous encounters in research discussion and all. So one day I went to talk to him with a very thin writing pad. Okay, so after the discussion was over, he just lifted it and told, what is this? So I told, sir, yeah, just for it. You have come here for the highest academic degree and you are so casual about it. Today you go purchase a 300 pages notebook, start writing everything. Whatever we discuss, whatever comes to your mind, you start writing. Otherwise it will be difficult for you. Now I wondered that other fellow PhD students were not doing the same thing. Why Professor Ghosh was not telling anything to them? Then now I understand it was a very personalized suggestion. It was required for me, that's why he told me. So I finished 3 notebooks like that and my PhD was over. At the end of 5th year, I graduated. This is one story, I would say that this advice changed my trajectory in PhD. Another story is with paper review. I wrote my first journal paper, the review came back. I saw there are some crazy questions from the reviewers. So I called him, sir, they are sent reviews like anything, they haven't understood this, that and all. He told, okay, you come tomorrow, we'll discuss on this. Next day, I went to meet him in his office. He told me, okay, Rudrashis, do this, do that, do this much of work, then we'll write the explanation why we are doing this, how in this way it suffices the condition. I think it will be sufficient. We wrote it and maybe in only one review it got accepted. So whenever I talk about Professor Ghosh with my friends, colleagues or something like that, I always tell that how to address reviewers' comments. He has some kind of magical capability to handle it, and he has taught us, probably we'll be able to implement that in our career. Another very small point I want to highlight here, generally we were used to professors, when we ask for some time, they will say, oh, we are busy, later. Professor Ghosh used to ask that, how much time you need? If it is 5 minutes, come today. So sometimes it was a problem also, because I planned to complete the work at night and immediately he will call me and the work was not ready. So that was a problem sometimes, but problem for me. But I learned this habit that the work which takes 5 minutes, let's do it now. Otherwise, it will get dragged. We will be engaged in some other work, and it will get delayed. But it takes only 5 minutes. So this is also something which I would say that is very remarkable characteristics. I would try to implement all this. So I do not wish healthy and happy life for him. I think if he is cordoned by books, papers, laptop, and young researchers like us, everything like the rest of the things will be taken care of. So we are from GCDSL family, and we would be flaunting it for the entire life. Thank you so much.
So, good evening, everyone. So, I've joined IISc in 2016, and from then I've been associated with Professor Ghose. So, the way it happened was after finishing 1 year of MTech, I just went to his office asking him whether I can do my master's thesis with him. So, he explained me all the projects that were going on in the lab and asked me to meet people in the lab, and then I went back to him saying, okay, I would like to do it with you. Then his response was, as with Rudrashis, talk to other professors also, but I said, no sir, I would only like to do it with you, and he was kind enough to accept me back then. So generally what happens is we make many good and bad decisions, and we keep contemplating whether if I've made a good decision or not, but I'm very sure that that was one of my good decisions to join him, and he was kind enough to accept me. And then so again, one more thing with the cat. What happened was I'm very scared of these cats and dogs. I went to his office to meet him, and the cat was roaming around, and I wasn't listening to a word he was saying. So he just got up, took the cat, put it behind his back, and said, okay, now we'll talk. So that's another thing. And after MTech, I joined TCS Research, where now I'm currently at, and I'm also an ERP student with Professor Ghosh. And my supervisor in TCS Research is Kaushik Das, who is also Professor Ghosh's student. And people say it's difficult to leave IISc. For me, it has been difficult to leave GCDSL. I always keep finding ways to come back to GCDSL because 6 months into the job, so Professor Ghosh also spoke about that MBZISC competition. I was part of that, so I was part of the contingent of TCS which was staying in IISc. And after then COVID happened. Then in 2022, when offices started opening, I again rang him up and I said, sir, I would like to do a PhD with you. And he was again kind enough to accept me, and I joined him back. So I didn't go to office. So up until 2023 or 2024, I've only spent 6 months in TCS office, so much so that even when I turn up at office, Are aaj yahan kaise? So that's been my case so far. And so there's this, I'd like to end with one quote in the interest of time. So there's one quote which is attributed to Sir Isaac Newton. If I've seen further, it is standing by on the shoulders of giants. So I would like to say thank you to Professor Ghosh for being that giant, and a gentle one at that. Thank you.
Onkar.
Hello everyone. So those who know me, they know that me and podium is not a good combination. So, but I thought this is the very rare chance that we get to talk with professor in this kind of tone. So, thought to say something. So our journey started in a little unusual way, not like how everyone else starts. So I was struggling to find a guide because I was very clear that I'll work with the drones, and at that time there were not much options. Professor Ratnoo already had few students, and then other professors were also occupied. So I requested Professor Ghose. So when I went to meet Professor Ghose, that I want to work under you, I want to work on drones. So he said that, Onkar, I am not available right now for any mentorship because I'm already occupied with a lot of students. So he politely said that this is not going to work out. So that night I already had planned my tickets back to my home, that I'm not going to continue my masters if I'm not getting chance to work with drones. Then luckily next day I got a mail from professor like, Onkar, can you please come at my office at 5 o'clock? And I went, and that is how we started. He said that, welcome to GCDSL. So at that time, Professor said that it's not going to be a very interactive kind of mentorship because I'm occupied. But we ended up in completely opposite of what he said at that time. So I thought, okay, maybe just a kind of lab access I'm getting. I'll work on my projects on my own. But that is something which changed very soon. Maybe at that immediately COVID came, and then we all went home in the COVID. So one day, because after some interaction, some lab seminar, Professor suddenly said, Onkar, can I get your contact? And then he called me and he said that I'm writing a paper. Would you like to contribute into that paper? And that was very rare thing to happen, because I was in MTech coursework, not even MTech research. I'm like, how suddenly I became an author with professor and another professor. So that is how our journey started. And then today we are in a position which we would not have imagined at all. Like, we are working together on a startup. So journey, our partnership, our association have evolved at a hypersonic speeds. So that is how our journey is. And everyone is saying some qualities about Professor Ghose, and I would like to say one quality which is very fantastic, that is his energy. Usually with age, everyone's energy goes down, but his is going up. So now slowly he is increasing his activities in the different domains. He is exploring more domains, more new research topics. So that is something which is very different about Professor Ghose, and it's good to work with someone like that. So, and good thing that my association will continue with Professor. I feel sorry for Swati ma'am that I will take some more time of his even after retirement. But yeah, thank you.
Manickam.
Hi, I'm Manickam. I have been working in DRDO. So I joined aerospace department as a master's student in 2014 and did my master's with Professor Ghosh. And last year I joined back as a PhD student after some 8 years break as again under Professor Ghosh. So a lot has been spoken of, so I'll just speak of just two things. One is the calm demeanor. Actually, don't be fooled by that. It's not that he's not strict. He's strict about the work, the deadlines, and what we do within that given time. But it actually reflects with everyone in the lab. My first interaction, I felt in masters, I had no clue what I'm going to do, and when I presented that, even I couldn't believe what I was telling and what I was going to do. He listened patiently. When I came out, I told Anoop was here, so he may not remember. So I told him, yeah, it went very badly. And he said, yeah, it is normal. That's how it's supposed to go. So I asked him, how are you so calm and you are saying like this? Then I met Professor Shashi Ranjan. So he is on another level. He's saying, yeah, it's normal, it's cool, it's okay. So everybody was speaking in the same tone. I thought maybe that's a prerequisite for joining this lab or something like that. Or they teach this as part of the training or something. So it was like that. And next is the work. Actually, how he lets you take ownership of the work you do. So when I first spoke to him, what he first said is, I started with sir and entering and all that obedience, what we have been taught in undergrad and all that. He said, I don't care about any of that. In IIC, we treat you as colleagues. So that means you have to take now ownership. If a professor treats you as a colleague, then you have to be responsible for what you do. So that is one. And whenever I presented something, he didn't say that it is right or wrong. So, but I think there is a mini Professor Ghosh running on all students' minds, asking whether have you really understood that whenever we are reading, even when he is not there. So that helps us tune our work and what we learn before that. And I will conclude by how the day started. So when I made the presentation for my conference paper, what he said is, your presentation is oral. What you are doing as a PPT is just a visual aid. This is what he said 8 years back. But he stuck by that today morning. So he didn't have a PPT, but that was a oral presentation. So that's something to live by what you say. And I hope in this superannuated life, I'll give less stress as a PhD student, and a happy, healthy superannuated life to him and his family. Thank you.
Magesh.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Magesh. I'm also from DRDO. My association is like for ME. I had joined ISC in 2009 to 2011. I was there. So that time it started like I was from aeronautical background, but in other places this navigation guidance control was not a great subject which was taught very well for us. So ISC was the place where I first got introduced to a formal course on this. And that time Professor Bhatt, Professor Padi, Professor Mani and Professor Ghosh, these were the people who were handling those subjects. So that way, that base what was set there then switched my entire interest into guidance control and navigation systems. So first is like, how did I end up with Ghosh sir for my ME thesis? That is like, we discuss among our friends and seniors. So they told one side Professor Bhatt, Professor Mani and Professor Padi. Then they told Professor Mani is not taking students anymore. So then you all know about the other two professors, how people will give feedback. So finally I ended up like, since being from a work background, I came for studies after some gap. So I wanted something to go easy on, so that that additional stress should not come. That is the first reason. But after joining, then I realized that he understands your background, what is your interest. First thing he told me is, you go and find what is useful for your work, so that you concentrate on that, so that this doesn't become an additional thing for you. He gave that freedom, because otherwise my impression was like, professors will have some areas of work, so they will tell you, no, if you are interested to work in this, then I'll take you. Like that, there was nothing discussed. He just told, okay, you go and find what you want to work on. So he gave that full freedom. After that, once I brought some candidate things, then he told, okay, this, what can you do in this, what can you do in this. So that way it started, and we finished there. There also, I don't know which professor will do that. While I was on my MTech, he allowed me to go and do something for my office work. So we had to finish something critical there. So during my thesis time, he allowed me a few days to go and work. And also, as Anoop was mentioning, he was moving abroad just towards the end of that. So he was acceptable enough to allow me to finish my thesis also before he left, because I had to join back. By the time he comes back, it will be too late. So I'm thankful to all that, sir. And after that, it was more like I was contemplating for PhD for a few years just after that, but somehow due to my work pressure, I could not come back. Then recently, last year, I just mailed him, because like we were not been in much touch till that time. So I was little apprehensive, like how it will go about, because after such a gap, we are mailing him. Just within a day, mail came. Okay, great. I encourage you to register for this. So after that, I never had a second thought, because earlier I was thinking, again, we have to commit time for this. I was thinking my roles have changed in my work, in family. But he was with that same enthusiasm as what he was encouraging me that time to do that. And I have joined back. And I always used to wonder some things, like how he gets things done from people, because that is something which you will not know directly. Like for example, like we do something and submit to him, the promptness with which he replies back, actually made me feel guilty sometimes, that have I not put enough effort than what he has put for correcting that. So that way, whenever he says something like this needs to be done, he need not tell it explicitly to you, but the way he responds to that will make sure that next time you also follow that. So that is something which, and he is very crisp. He doesn't mince words. He says just, you have to do it. After that, it is like somehow there is some, I would say, invisible form of communication which happens, which says that I am expecting you to finish this on time, so please finish it on time. So that is never said, but it is always there in that mail or in whatever messages he sent. Whenever I see that, because that is because of the dedication what he shows on our own work. That means we are supposed to do something like that, or at least more than that. And now today I came to know that he does that with everyone. So that I was wondering how he finds time to do that with everyone. Then I realized, if we don't care about something, only then we will not have time to do that something. So that is like he cares about each and everyone the same way, and he puts in that effort and ensures that it is for our progress that he is doing all that. So thank you very much, sir, for that kind of efforts. And the only other thing I'll just add, during my MTech times, like others said, sir invites all the students their home for a lunch. So I used to think that, okay, we'll go, we'll meet, we'll have something. But the welcoming reception I received from madam, it was even more surprising for us, but other students were used to it. I was not used to it. Then I realized, okay, he treats everyone as part of his family. He takes them along and helps us in other aspects also. And our association will continue because we have just recently registered, so we will work on whatever new and exciting things. And when I joined for PhD also, I was having only idea about the applications in which we can work on. It is like more from the industry and DRDO point of view. But sir taught me like what is research in that? How do you identify the research in that? He told me like either your problem should be new, which is not solved, or the method should be new, which is like already solved, but you are doing a better solution. If these both are new, then it is a great research work. So then I got some idea on what to look for in each paper, how to take about things. So I am still in that loop, sir. We will get back in touch soon with other things. And I wish you all the best and your family for the future endeavors also. Thank you very much, sir.
My name is Dhabala, and my introduction with Professor is little different from all your introduction, because I'm neither a student of Professor nor a student who came to lab just to do research, to do research and all. So I'm from a background from business and finance. So I did my graduation in VIT in business and finance, and for me robotics and engineering is a whole different world, and it's a very different new space for me. And as I know that we have a speech today, so yesterday night I was like sitting whole time, as one of the professor just mentioned that he went to ChatGPT and he already got professor's information. I think it was because of me, because I was already giving a lot of prompts yesterday night. And here I am forgetting my phone there. So so I have to continue my speech anyways. So yeah, as I told that I come from a completely different background, as I'm working in a startup which is mentored by Professor Debasish Ghose, which I'm really, really grateful for. I think I have to use all the superlative words. I'm immensely so much grateful for which I'm working right now. And that has also been the cons. I would say that it's been actually difficult for me to cope up with the deep tech startup, where I'm coming from a finance and commerce background. When I heard about robotics, the only thing I remember is seeing Robo movie maybe in my 5th or 6th standard. That's all I know about a robot. And I continued my +1, +2 graduation, everything in commerce, business and finance. So that's all what I know about. And it's been a very tricky journey for me initially to cope up with the deep tech terminologies, the works and all, which I should be the business person to able to represent the startup, where I should definitely have the knowledge about all those things. And it's then I told to professor that, Professor, I'm sorry, maybe I'm not living up to the expectations and maybe I'm not doing enough. So I started doubting myself that I came very far from the domain which I had expertise in. And then that's professor definitely. So he would say, Dhavala, I trust you. So I believe that you can do. So I think that's one of the quality that we all talk about professor is professor identifies us before who we identify ourselves, what our strengths are before we do. Professor does that in us. And that really stuck with me. And at that particular point of time, that's more than what I could actually expect for someone to say me that you are enough to do that. And I was never that kind of person before, and professor still introduced me to many people that he says, okay, he's my student, and meet, she's Miss Dhavala, so she's from business background and she's a very good person, she's a very good speaker and all. But I was never like that before. Even in my graduation, my college days, my friends were still surprised to meet me because I used to be very playful, very naughty and a very active person, and they meet me after like 6 months to 1 year, and they say like, are you trying to become a monk? Why did you become so calm, so silent? And then I told, I am actually with Professor Debasish Ghose and you don't know him at all. So they were like, what? They were telling me, see, this is happening in my college. That's because all of my friends were pursuing their masters now. So they were saying, this is happening in my college, that's happening. I was like, think bigger, guys. There's so much about you have to learn. I was like, what are you talking, bro? So it was completely irrelevant for me. I was so much into professor's research, his ideology, his vision, which I deeply look up to and I share personally as well. And one of the things I really, really want to mention about professor is sitting in the last row, last chair. I'm being so much happy for all the applauses she's getting, doing the loudest clap that I can do, cheering, like being the loudest laugher I could give for all the greatest lines mentioning by many people. And similarly, the loudest thing which I could hear right now is my heartbeat because I'm so nervous at the same time. But professor is just being professor for everything. Thank you. And I'm almost at the point of time I'm so emotional that wow, such a great line, like such a great legacy. How could I ever be like that in my life? And he's just being that same calm person, listening to every speech, every line with that same smile, with that same personality. I think I'm being more overwhelmed than him. For thinking as if it's what it was for me. So I was that happy all the day today. So to tell about professors' diverse knowledge and experience, I had one memory with me to share. I think it is a very recent one. I think that's one of the last one I had conversation with professors. So because I'm working with in a startup which professor is mentoring, because I come from financial and business background, I have to put few of the points and insights which I have to share with. So I cannot vocally say this is wrong and this is right. So I thought of bringing my field of strength, like use my financial knowledge to put the graphs, the numbers, formulas, everything, do ChatGPT the whole night, calling my cousins who are preparing for CA to guidance from them, making sure 3 times that all the formulas are correct, and went in the room with full confidence. I thought, okay, I would say the student, I'd convince professor that these are the results and this is what I want to convey. And then I started the presentation with first or second slide, and then professor started, hey, wait, what's the formula? I don't think there's a minus here. And then I was like, okay, professor also know finance. Not only electrical, civil, mechanical, robotics, aerospace, he's also into finance, commerce, accounting, everything. Then I thought, okay, better I shouldn't think in such a way. I still came very prepared, thinking, but still, Professor, like, this is a very wrong formula. Come correcting it again. And then I'm still so scared to meet him because I will still make so many mistakes. But yes, Professor, definitely. There's so much to learn from you every single day. And for the people who have came from outside IISc, we must all seen a very chaotic environment outside, with a lot of hustle bustle, like running, which are thriving for so many things. When I just come to IISc, especially professors, a camp like the department and lab, I feel connected with myself, with my vision to work with, and my purpose, which very much aligns with Professor, which I really, really look up for, is holding the values, principles, and ethics very dearly with your work as well. And last thing which I want to conclude is, as I said you in the beginning, I'm not a student of Professor. And when I've seen Professor introduce me to many of his students, he would say he's my student, and now he's this and this, so and so. I used to be like, oh, I would never get such kind of introduction maybe ever in my life. Everyone have different kind of purposes and different kind of visions while they're working in their life. Maybe like some are professors, some are doctorates, some are working in corporates. For maybe they have their purpose, they have their vision. Maybe some at the bottom of my at the back of my mind, I always have this, is we always have that few people in our lives which we really want them to feel proud of us. That's one of the reasons that we always work for. It might be parents for few of us, it might be some of our professors that we wanted to show. So during my bachelor's, there's one professor that I want to call Professor Samuel Johnson. And he's actually no more with us, so he passed in last year 2024. So he's one of the professor who told me initially that, Dhavala, when you finish your graduation, I wanted to see you as a guest coming to college again and giving your lecture. And I exactly went to my same university, VIT, given my guest lecture as a student who's working in corporates for my younger self, and he wasn't there. But I always have that, apart from my parents, and now I believe that's Professor Debasish Ghose. I put daily my efforts consistently, seeing his consistent, that one day I would definitely make him proud, and at least then I would hear the word, oh yeah, she's my student and I'm proud of her. At least I would hear that she's my student at that moment when I become at a stage I would become and do something with his guidance. And thank you so much.
Meenakshi.
Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, okay, I have to stand here because otherwise I don't think you guys will be able to see my face. And I like to see everyone's face when I, talk, so that I know that people are not falling asleep. So, small anecdote. So, we used to have this seminar, people are talking, right? So, there were different versions of it. One time, we used to have this in the STC seminar room, which is like a round table. And I used to look at professor's face. If he is falling asleep, that means my work is pretty boring. He does not find anything interesting in that. So I used to think, okay, this is not going well. I have to improve, the work. And sometimes he'll be very engagingly listening. So I'm like, okay, now, now we are getting somewhere. So yeah, so talking about professor, I have so many stories, but when I started here, I gave my interview. I also had Ratnoo sir mentioned that having Padhi sir and Bhatt sir in the opposite table, it's not very helpful. In fact, at the end of the interview, Bhatt sir told me that, Meenakshi, I feel like you need to improve your maths. And after I came out, almost after 1.5 hour, I didn't even know how much it was, the duration of the interview. Sir was not there. I thought, okay, I don't have a chance. I missed out. I am not getting a call. But luckily I got a call, and first day on the admission I met Anoop. Accidentally, by a very happy accident, I met Anoop. Anoop told me, if you want to do a PhD, if you want to have a peaceful life in IISc and also enjoy your PhD life, go meet sir. And he just saw, oh, sir's room is still open. Go, he will leave. Just go meet him. First day I met him, and the conversation that I had, it was amazing. Like, he gave off the kind of vibe that you would want in a professor. The way he speaks, you take any topic, he will give you a lecture, you will feel like, oh my god, okay, I have never thought about this in this manner. So yeah, I mean, he can jump from, like, he would talk to me about ML theory, then somebody will come, they will talk about, guidance law, somebody other will come, they will talk about game theory, next student will come, talk about opinion dynamics. And I don't know, like, how he used to switch between all these topics. One of the funny things that we used to do, so people talk about, he give you a lot of freedom. Yes, he did. But we used to wonder how he still knows, like, where each one of his student is doing whatever. Like, we used to discuss Vidya, Lima, we were like, all at the same time, and we used to discuss, it doesn't matter that you don't go to sir for 2 weeks, don't meet him. He will still know, and he will ask you, one day you will get a mail, Meenakshi, I want to meet you at this time tomorrow morning, and okay, you have to be prepared. You can't go there. You have to, you have to show up, and he will, you know that yes, this is the time. You have to be prepared, and that's the way he did. Like, he gives you a lot of freedom, but at the same time, yes, of course, there is a quality of work that you need to maintain. That was never compromised, not for a single moment of time, and that was one of the biggest take that I have learned from him. So I will mention 3 different incidents, 3 different, I think, experiences that will stay with me forever. First incident is more about his professional caliber. So, as I mentioned, Professor Bhatt told me, you need to improve your math. So one of the things that I decided when I get into IISc, I will improve my math. That's like, I want to be very mathematically accurate. And at one point of my PhD, I was at a visitorship at a very premier US university with a group famous for doing stochastical control theory, which is like very mathematical stuff. And I was in a visitorship, so there was another professor involved, and we all know that the two-body problem is never a stable solution, right? If you understand what I mean. So I think Prof understood. Even when I was in US, he understood that, okay, there is some confusion, something, and I was like, okay, this math, all that, I was telling him this thing I want to do. He told me, Meenakshi, all this math is fine, but what is the use? You also need to see that whether this math people are proposing, whether it has any use or not. So in a very diplomatic way, he gave me the direction that I needed to pursue. Now, years after, like, why this is a very important lesson for me, that it will stay with me forever, is because, of course, every time I went to him, anybody had a discussion with him on optimization theory will know how well he explains very complex mathematical concepts in very fluid, lucid terms. You can actually visualize the plots, graphs, and everything. So recently I have been reading this book on the father of game theory, John von Neumann. Many of us know him as the father of computing, modern computing, but he also is the guy who actually termed game theory. So he was a stalwart mathematician, but he actually said that your math needs to be elegant. So when I was reading his quote, all it came to my mind is Professor Ghosh telling me, your math needs to be simple, it needs to be elegant, it needs to have a beauty aspect to it. So, great minds kind of think alike. So I believe that's an example of that. Second example is so he mentioned that some of his students suffered a lot because of COVID, because they wanted to do experiments. I was one of such student. We wanted to do a lot of this data set stuff and all. So robots were there, COVID was there. I was in US for some part of it because of the COVID thing. I got stuck there. So when I came back, so that was one part, but we started doing this experimental stuff. But when we actually started in 2017-18, I think, we didn't have the robotics things. We didn't have the robots and all. So initially when we started, we struggled a lot because we didn't have the robots and all that stuff. So one such incident, there was one robot we had, Lego bots. It happened that the MATLAB support was not there. It was not open source, it was not openly available. So I had an intern, he's also here, called Prabhu. So we were like struggling. Sir knew that, since morning 2 days, these people are struggling to get this robot to operate. And after lunch he came and he was like, he just, in his casual way asked us, did you guys make any progress? And we were very busy looking out where we can find this, MATLAB support. Then at that instant we found out, okay, there is, I don't want to name the university, some German university, were internally hosting the file, the MATLAB file. MATLAB officially stopped supporting, but they were internally hosting that plugin file. So then we were having in the middle of a conversation when sir came into the room that, okay, maybe, it looks like their security systems are not so, good. Maybe we can hack into their internet system and get the plugin. So professor came and he understood that discussion that was happening, and he just said, okay, I don't want to listen to you guys. Whatever you want to do, you do. So that's the kind of freedom and fun you could have. Like, we still laugh about it that, he just came out and gave us the freedom. Didn't work out. We hacked the system, got the file was corrupted, but that's a different story. But he gave a lot of freedom to us. I'm eternally grateful to him. I think anybody in his place, like at one point, I think anybody would have said, Meenakshi, you have done, just submit the thesis. You don't have to do the experimental stuff. He never said to me. He said, yes, okay, we have the robots. And because I wanted to do the experiments, I wanted to do the data set work, he was very supportive of that. Now the last story. So he talked about in the morning about, having opposition, contradiction. So I would say Professor Ghosh is a man having a lot of layer of contradiction. Like, yes, he's very calm. I think he is the best manager anybody can have. Like, other than being a research guide, he's also like one of the best managers I have seen, managing so many PhD students, so many different personalities. And each of our experience with him is our own unique. It's tailored to our qualities, our way of learning and everything. So the other calm side, when it comes to it, he's a vociferous, defender of his students. So this happened. So we worked on one of these famous competition that he mentioned, right? I was also part of it. And I was having a very tough time because I was put in the group of AI/ML. I came from aerospace, and this is 2020, right? 2020, 21. People were still a lot of, I don't want to name any names, a lot of people still had this idea, oh, she's from aerospace. What does she know of AI/ML? What does she know of computer vision? Okay. So I had a tough time. So one of these meetings, internal meetings, one of very senior member of the group went on about, saying a lot of stuff. He was not at all happy with me being part of it. And I think sir was there. Professor did not, I was almost in tears. I did not say anything because, I am being junior most, you can't say anything. Then came professor's turn. And he, without naming any names, without saying anything, just said one single word. And I still remember that I am very grateful the effort my PhD students are putting into a project that is not even part of their thesis work. That just one line, So I always take the way he takes criticism. He will take criticism, he will process it, and then it's not like he does not respond when it is not really helpful. He will respond, but the way he responds to criticism or the way he defends his students is, it will always stay with me. And, if I ever go back to, go to academia, I would also like to do the same. If I ever have students, manage to have, I would also like to do the same. So that I am eternally grateful to him. And of course, ma'am, I wrote an article where I actually said that, how welcoming sir and ma'am is when it comes to managing family life. They have met my husband when I got married. Sir was like, Meenakshi, you will keep on giving exam. Marriage is way more important than, exams and all. So yeah, so thank you, sir. I don't think that, retirement is retirement for you because the way your mind works, I don't think there will be retirement. I personally still want to write a lot more papers with you, do a lot more work with you, work on different new ideas, and stay in touch. So all the best for the next innings. Thank you.
conclude this session, Professor Satadal has something interesting to share.
So this is just a concluding remark, maybe. Professor Ghosh from our end, like Professor Ghosh, I think his journey in one sentence in that way to say, like Veni, Vidi and VC, right? So this video, I'm missing some of them, like they are supposed to play a music also with it. So we'll not have the music, but the video is from the pictures that we have had. So this is the Veni, and now this is Vidi, and the next one is VC. Okay, yeah. So Veni, then Vidi, and VC. Yeah, so yeah, thank you all. Thanks for everything.